Hello, friends. I can't think of anything that defines us more than our names. We may identify ourselves by our profession or the role that we play in our families or even our gender or our sexual orientation, but those identities are secondary to our names. Hello, I'm Dr. Renee Harmon. I'm the author of Surfing the Waves of Alzheimer's. It's a memoir about my husband Harvey and his time with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. The title for today's blog and video is What's in a Name? It's a quote from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. It's part of Juliet's balcony soliloquy. So she says, "What's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." There are two interpretations to this. The one is that Juliet is saying that even though her beloved's name is Montague, the sworn enemy of her family, she still loves him for who he is. Another interpretation is that Juliet is comparing Romeo to a beautiful rose and that he would be just as beautiful and worthy of her love if he were named something else. On its face value, though, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Just indicates that naming something does not name its essence. It does not indicate what that object or that person really is. So countless women have changed their last name when they got married. And new couples now are sometimes creating brand new names. And transgender people often take a new first name to reflect their gender identity. The essence of who they are, the God spark within, hasn't changed, but these name changes are important in creating a new identity. About 3 years into Harvey's illness, we were going to bed one night, and I noticed that he was looking quite pensive. He had his chin, his fist tucked under his chin, and he was saying, I mean, very theatrically. So I said, "What are you thinking about, Harvey?" "I think I want to change my name." It was all I could do to keep from giggling to myself or saying, "So maybe Eves or Xavier, maybe Chad," but no, instead I said, "Why is that?" "My name, horrible. They gave me it. "Oh, so you don't like the name Harvey?" "No." "What would you like to be called instead, Scott?" So Harvey was christened Harvey Scott Harmon by his parents, named after both of his grandfathers. And the plan was to call him Scott. But when grandfather Harvey caught wind that they had named their new grandson after him and he lived nearby, he began calling this new infant baby boy Harvey. And Harvey's parents didn't have the heart to change him or to correct it, and he was Harvey. So back to our conversation at night. Later on, just a few minutes later, he started making those sounds again. "What are you thinking about, Harvey?" "Those two men." "Does this have something to do with your name change?" "Tally." "Oh, Tally Scott Bowden, your mother's father. Is that why you want to change your name?" "I liked him better." "Maybe." So the next morning, I playfully called Harvey by Scott. I wasn't sure if he would remember our conversation, but he kind of looked at me slyly and said, "I don't think that will work." 8 years into the disease, at the very end of Harvey's time with Alzheimer's disease, he had 3 words that were intelligible: yes and no and Harvey. And it became a test of sorts for me. I could ask him, "What is your name?" And with a long pause or sometimes an awkward pronunciation, he would get out Harvey. He was no longer bro or dad or doc. He was Harvey. He was still Harvey. He was able to retain that sense of self. It had not left him. And he would still be Harvey. even if I called him Scott or Hun or my love. Thank you. Be well and keep your balance.